feel like I'm taking up the whole screen.
You need to. You're way prettier than I am.
I think so.
Trying to get this thing to not go off like it goes off every
It does
time.
every time.
Well, good evening. I'm sorry we were late. I'm trying to get on. We always are late. We need to schedule 8:10.
Yeah.
Should we?
No, because then we would just be late again.
We'd be late again. All right, I think I got it set up.
We were coming, and then Jennings was yelling at us, so we had to go tend to him before we could come sit down.
All right, so hello, Clifford, Lotus Blossom. Lotus Blossom, you watched one of our older videos. I'm so sorry that the quality of that video is terrible. So, Texas in the house. Welcome, Casanova. Rehab Life, what's going on? Miss Charlotte, D. Martin, Hodgepodge, Miss Rebecca. Well, everybody's kind of saying where they're from. Thank y'all for that. That's pretty awesome. Miss Darlene, how are you? We sent your soap out, so you should be getting it over the next day or so. You may actually get it today. Hallie family, how are y'all? Miss Sue, Miss Julie, Stacy, Phyllis. Okay, I think I got everybody. Trying to catch you up.
Miss Darlene said busy day today. I had a really busy day today too.
I don't think there's a day that we're not busy.
When I keep telling myself when I'm done making soap every day that it won't be as busy, but then I know I'm just going to replace it with something else.
I know.
Another have to do.
Hey Meg. Hey Lisa. Hey Kim. Debbie, Big Dave. How are you, man? Man, everybody is all over tonight.
Green
That's pretty
Bay,
awesome.
Wisconsin.
So tell me your temperature. So we were cool last week. We had fall. Now we're back to radiant summer.
Well, so during the day, when I was cutting the okra this afternoon, it wasn't that bad. The wind was blowing, and I thought, this feels kind of nice.
I don't know. It was still kind of humid.
It's always going to be humid here unless it's like January, but.
That's Brady and Jessica on Hodgepodge. Hey, I like the name. Go with it.
Oh, good.
84, 65. Miss Sue had 65 in Connecticut. I wish it would get cold like that. Stay cold. That's our problem. We get glimpses of fall, and then all of a sudden it just wants to look terrible. So, and be hot. Big Dave's got thunderstorms. We had them yesterday, or had them all weekend, so I figured they were coming your way.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Vanessa.
I think it rained starting Thursday. It rained Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I know.
And did it rain yesterday?
No, not yesterday. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get this greenhouse done, y'all. I'm telling you, every time I plan to go put the top on the little caterpillar truck, I'll say little, the smaller greenhouse. I can't get it on there because it starts storming.
It's like when he says the words, it's like a rain dance.
I know. I think I'm just going to have to do it anyway. We'll have to.
We probably will end up having to.
Phone's going off like crazy.
I'm gonna check these messages though, because okay, never mind. That one's okay. We are gonna be out of town tomorrow afternoon, and we
Hey, Miss Deanna.
Need to make an extra stop, so I was trying to line some things up there. So that's why if y'all see me glancing over at my phone, it's because I'm doing some side work here. So
hey, Hank. Miss Debbie said, or Miss Julie's from Louisiana, so you're not far from 75. Mm-hmm. That's actually a little bit better than what it is right here. Patience is a virtue. It is giving me patience. We have I'm afraid the broccoli would be grown by the time we actually put the top on it.
Have you seen how good the other set's growing?
It is, but I feel like the first set's kind of stagnated.
Yeah, they have kind of
stopped.
Hey, but we have some golden fertilizer that we want.
Yeah.
So has that one been gone out yet? No, yes. That one has. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't. Okay.
No, it hasn't.
Big Dave, you got to get on to her. She's gonna let something slip.
No, I did. I said we've got some golden things going on here. Some more golden things.
Rehab life.
I will say that it's pretty cool though. I really feel like we've really kicking it in high gear with the natural fertilizer.
I think we're kicked in high gear and everything. I truly don't know how in the world we get the stuff done that we get done. The rain made us slow down, so it made us really kind of pick it up in the last few days. Let's see. Rehab life. Yeah, it just wasn't a coffee night. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just didn't feel it. So I'm sorry. That's very, very unusual for me too.
Well, and it hasn't helped me on my end.
Hey, McLeod.
I've literally been making 8 pounds of soap every day since the 1st of September, and that takes it's like a 3-hour ordeal between by the time I get my lye started and I get it all done and cleaned up and everything put back where it's supposed to go, it's like literally at least 3 hours for me. Now I can do some things in
Hey,
between,
bar run.
but it's a huge time sucker.
I agree. Every night is a coffee night. I used to be real bad about it. I drink a pot in the morning and then a good bit at night. I just hadn't done it lately. I don't know. I think I'm just too busy and I just
Hey,
want to go to
Karen.
sleep. Hey, Karen, how are you? When will the soap be ready to go? So we have some that's going that we already had, but tell about the soap that you've got
Yeah,
right
so
now.
I actually did not realize how low the bars that I have ready were. Like I went and flipped through my stuff the other day and was like, I was trying to fill some of my cells and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm like almost down to nothing. So I'm so
Yay,
glad
Miss
that I've
Tina.
made like crazy. So I do have some that is still good, like it's ready to go. So when I
Rehab life.
make, it needs to cure for like 4 to 8 weeks, depending on humidity and all that good stuff. So I do have a few bars, but I've been making every day since September, and those bars I can ship out right now, but they don't need to be used until the 1st of December. And this is why they're okay to use, but because they're soft, they just won't last as long. So if you in other words, in my opinion, the longer they sit and the harder they get, the longer they'll last. So that's just kind of my thing. I like for them to cure for as long as I can get them to cure, because the harder they get, the longer they last. Time makes them hard. So like when you put them in the water and then you get them back out, if they're really hard, they'll last you longer. So I try to let them cure as long as possible. Usually 4 to 6 weeks is pretty good. If I can get a full 8 weeks in, then that's better.
Miss Tina said, hey, from South Louisiana, y'all have inspired me so much. I must say, homegrown food is so tasty. We
Yes, it
agree there.
is.
To me, I've never had a better potato, tomato, or onion than you could possibly grow. Peas and beans I love, but to me, those three things really
And
are
potatoes
emphasized.
and onions just go together.
Oh, they do.
My kids won't let me cook one without the other.
Rehab Life says he is looking for me a coffee mug in his travels,
Oh,
but he
that's
didn't think the
sweet.
Minnie Mouse was quite my speed. Any mug will be fine. I don't know if I'm a coffee snob, but I am a mug snob. I just can't just drink out of any mug. It's got to be a good mug, Rehab Life.
I'll see that. I'm like,
So Last Blossom said, so did your fence you and Aiden worked on at the big farm keep them out of the pond? Those are some crazy cows. Actually, we're fixing to sell a lot of those big cows. We'll be talking about that in a video coming up. Actually, we're fixing to do that like next week. So we are fixing to maneuver a lot of animals off that farm and try to go to a different
thank you,
style
Karen.
cow there. It kept in the smaller calves and it kept in the bulls, but we have a hard-headed Charlet up there that where she goes, everybody goes. So it allows her, if she's gonna go, they'll go. It's not my cow, but she will be going off farm very, very soon, and I'm glad of it because it's gonna make my cows better.
All right, address. I saw some more questions.
If I keep them until Christmas, would they be good? Yes, the soap will be good for Christmas.
They don't go bad. Okay, actually, the longer they sit, the better, because like I was telling y'all earlier, the longer they sit, the harder they get, and the harder they get, the longer they last. But I would definitely wait until December because I have been making these since like the 1st of September. So like the batches that I'm making right now, if you were to get one of those bars, you would want them to at least cure out the rest of October and all of November before you started using them in December, just because you want your bar to last as long as it can.
If you want those, Deborah, all you got to do is reach out to us via
Send
email.
us an email.
Yeah, the maxhappyhomestead@gmail.com. Mimos and Miss Sue, did the seeds in the garage get ruined from the rain? No, not yet. Well, I say that. And the bags dried. They are in the cardboard bags, so we let them sit like that so they've hardened back up. So as of right now, the bags are very fragile, but the seed looks fine inside. So that is a very good thing. We're actually going to start process of seeding tomorrow or the next day. I'll have Aiden actually doing it during the day. Let's see. I'm not sure if I can wait to December to bathe.
Well, I would encourage you to bathe with something else. And if you've got some soap, at least wait until December to use it.
Lotus Blossom, thank you so much for watching our older videos. Please forgive us because the quality of a lot of those vlogs are not the best.
We were learning the whole
good
how to
content, but
YouTube,
just
how
not the
to
best quality.
how to film, how to put it
Hey Tom,
whole 9 yards.
Miss Sue.
Editing YouTube, that was a whole new world to us.
Karen says she is still making your soap, and that is awesome.
Yeah,
so
I said thank you to
Hey,
her.
hey.
It popped up.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Karen. Hey, Miss Gail, how are you doing? Yes, just touch back with us on the soap too
if
on
you
email.
Order, yeah.
Thank you, Goss Media, for sharing that link there. We need to shorten that email. I don't know why we don't.
It really is, Karen. That's like my favorite thing to do. I would say it's not really a hard process, but it's time consuming. But when I make, I kind of do things in between, but then you get your essential oils that just smell the whole house up.
Michigan Mike, thank you so much. Michigan Mike, you've been with us for a long time. Thank you so much for that.
And we are so close to a giveaway, y'all. We are so close. We're almost at 10,000, and when we get to 10,000, we are going to do the bomb giveaway.
Oh yeah, we got an awesome giveaway. If we can get to 10K, y'all gonna like the giveaway. Yeah. That rhymes. You like that
giveaway? 10K giveaway. Yeah. So we are super excited.
Thank you, Michigan Mike. Though really, it means a lot.
Thank you a lot. We love all of our viewers. We can call y'all so quick by name because we tell y'all this all the time, but we really do mean it. We go through and we read all the comments. We try to respond. Well, we do respond to all of them. If it's not Colby's, if he's not on comment duty, I'm on comment duty. So we do go through and read all of our comments. We love to hear, man, we do something as simple as like, what was on our video the other day? What did we put out the other day? And somebody was like, I remember making Play-Doh. Somebody said, I remember my dad used to make Play-Doh with me. So like, I love going back and read those comments and those stories and memories that it brings back for y'all. Just, it's just a special for us.
My favorite thing about blogging though is we try not to be one dimensional in every video. Now there's some videos we do how to and like the soap or like putting up a fence or something like that. But pretty much our typical vlogs have just about, it has 4 or 5 different things in it going on during the day. And I think it's cool because I love how everybody comments on different things. So for instance, somebody may comment on one of the kids, or like the other day, somebody commented, or several people commented on Aiden talking. They're like, we've never heard Aiden talk. So I think that's so cool that you grab the Play-Doh or you grab the Aiden talk and things like that. It does mean the world to us for sure. Kim says, started a batch of chicken broth today, added apple and cinnamon. It smells so good. That is awesome. We can our own chicken broth as well. Tom, you guys worry so much about the job you're doing. Just be you. That's what makes YouTube so great, the genuine and real approach. Thank you, Mr. Tom. We are trying our hardest to always be as real as possible.
Did y'all see Livy patty cake and she learned a trick?
Big Dave says, how's the barn going? I don't want to talk about it, Big Dave. You are now banned from the show. I'm joking. I'm just joking. It is a sore subject with me and Big Dave.
Okay, the project is lined up. We have somebody that is going to come do it. But we are on their schedule. So
we've been saying that for like months now. So.
Yeah, but we actually do have somebody. We've been talking to him about it. And he's like, oh, I don't really know if I want to take on something like that right now. But we did. I think Colby talked him into it. So he agreed to it, but we're on his schedule. So he said, I need to get X amount of projects off of my list before I'll take on your project. So
we'll see what happens.
We're hoping that he will do. I know that he will. It's just when when he's gonna be able to say. He has other things that are more important.
Bar Run says, I just bought another freezer, so the giveaway should help. Wink, wink. Miss Rebecca Stanley said, you are great to your subs. Thank you so much. We really love every one of your comments. They do mean the world to us for sure.
We wouldn't be where we're at without y'all.
Debbie says, I'm hoping to go to the Okie Homestead Expo. You guys were the
Yay.
tipping point for wanting me to go. Oh, wow. That means a lot. You're like the only person that probably comes for the match. So, so thank you so much. We hope to meet you there. We are excited to go. We actually need to book our place. We need to
We
book our
looked
place.
through and we've talked about several different things, but we have not just decided on exactly what we want to do yet, because I'm real big
Thanks,
about
Rehab Life.
I want to cook a lot of my own food and even like bring it with us and stuff. Just because that won't put us eating out so much. So we just looked at several different places as far as
Thank you,
that
Miss
would
Terry.
have availability of a kitchen for us to be able to cook some things. And so we've talked about different towns and places, whether we want to do Airbnb or VRBO, or just trying to figure out exactly what we want to do. But we are super excited. I was actually asking the kids earlier, because Aiden is like dead set on he wants to come with us. And we're like, that's great and all, but if Allie is still milking, or if Josie, something goes wrong with her calf, or it dies or whatever, you just don't ever know. Prayerfully, none of that will ever happen. But if for any reason we have to have a milker, then he has to stay back.
So it might just be me and Ms. Matt
but
going.
But we'll find out next week how far along Allie is, if she's pregnant, if she is, she should be, how far along she is, and that will kind of give us an idea of when she's going to calf. And he has been spot on,
Yeah,
like every time. So there's no doubt in my mind. Next week we'll be able to kind of nail that down with him. And I asked the
y'all
other
get to
kids,
see our vet. The vet's been in some of the videos. That's done really well. I think people like the vet. So he'll be back next week, and he'll be in the video next week too.
So he'll be here. He'll kind of give us some heads up. I told Aiden today, I was like, well, if you really want to come with us, that's fine. We're fine with that. But we have to know for sure first to kind of where Allie's at, because if she's in that stage where, like say she's not pregnant, and we go ahead and do something about that right now, then she will still be in milk in March. So somebody will have to milk her unless we decide to dry her up early. But we're not going to, definitely not, probably not. Well, I guess we could if Josie was milking.
If Josie was in milk, we might.
We'll see. He may get to go with us. He really, really wants to go with us. So I was asking the girls if they wanted to go, and they were like, how far is the drive? And we were like, it's an all day thing. You will be driving one whole day up there. We'll be there for several days, and we'll have to drive back. It's like a whole day drive. They were like, yeah, I don't think so. We're going to stay back with family. So I don't think they're going to come with us.
Kelly says, oh my gracious, Livy is adorable. Thank you for that. Hey, Miss Linda, how are you doing? Bar Run, Miss Vanessa, thank y'all for your comments. Dooley's Michigan Homestead, how are y'all? Let's see. Rebecca says it's been great watching all the stuff you do. We never stop, and we are always doing something. So thank you so much for watching. Grammy Karen, how are you doing? Rustic Woodwork says we're excited about the Homestead, so we can't wait to meet you guys in person. It's gonna be fun. So we're gonna be able to speak, and then we're gonna have a little table off to the side and be able to meet and greet whoever can come. And then we have another seminar that Misty will do in soap. So we'll be really more hands-on that time.
Yeah, and I'm excited, but I am a little nervous.
Miss Rebecca, we probably are.
I will probably, this is something that we may need to talk to them about, but I thought about if I have enough soap through the orders and the seasons, and we are going to a Christmas open house. So if I have enough extra soap, we may see about being a vendor there too in between. Especially if Aiden comes with us, he can kind of help us while we're doing classes. So that may be one thing that we may be able to do too, is I may be able to bring some of my soap for y'all to put your hands on, and see, sniff and smell, and all the whole 9 yards. So
thank you for some of the new ones came over. New sub, Christina Pace. Thank you, Miss Barb. Hello from Canada. How awesome that is.
Miss Sue.
Miss Sue, thank you for the super chat. Again, you've been with us for so long. Thank you so much. It means the world to us. We always are very humbled by any time somebody does super chat. So Michigan Mike, Miss Sue, thank y'all so very much. and God bless you as well. Gosh, I don't even know what to say now. I lost my train of
I
thought. This soup
know.
blew my mind. Aiden, you need to stay home and collect eggs. LOL, Colby. Collecting the eggs the other day in the pouring rain. That's right. We collect. It's like a broken record.
Y'all asked who got the eggs out today.
Miss Mac got the eggs out today.
Not Aiden.
Aiden struggles to remember to get the eggs out. I don't know if he struggles to get the eggs out. I think he just doesn't do it.
So I fed the birds earlier today, and he usually brings in when he brings them in, or like this morning I was like, "Hey, you need to get the eggs out. Go out there and get them." I think he brought in like
Thanks, Grammy Karen.
4. How many did I get out today? I got 8 out this afternoon.
Did you?
8. That's the first time we've got 8 in in at least a few months.
Hello from Texas from Miss Karen. Thank you for coming on, Miss Karen. Let's see. Colby was drenched in the video.
Yes, he was.
The crazy thing about that, we didn't show you the first part of that video. I had a whole different outfit on. It was flooding that morning. I got done with milking.
That was his second time.
What did I do that got soaking wet the first time?
I don't know what you were outside doing. The next time I was
I think it was the cows.
we're so far behind. Our chores are getting snow. I think he went out because he knew how stressed I was getting. Because, I mean, we have like so much to do. And then when it rains, it's like now it just like keeps our snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And a lot of y'all, you know what I'm talking about. But I was like in here kind of like stressing out. And he was like, well, I'm already wet. I might as well go back out and finish. And so I gave him the big bin. He went and got okra, and you went and got eggs for me, and
we just couldn't
finished planting all of the stuff that needed to be planted.
We couldn't get the loofahs just because it was wet and moist, and we were afraid they were old. So
yeah, well, I did get 3 today. I went out there and got okra today, and I got 3 loofahs.
Welcome, Miss Marcy. Karen, we are from South Mississippi, so we're not too far from you. You being in Texas. I don't know if you're in East Texas or West Texas, but welcome. Thank you for coming on. I kind of hope the only thing that we're struggling with for fall, I would say, is our lettuce. It's not coming up like we wanted to. We talked about that a little bit in that video, but I'm hoping that it will come on up. If not, we're going to have to replant that. Everything else is looking really good for this time, though.
Hey, so I have our Homesteaders of America shirt on. Is anybody on our chat going to Homesteaders of America? Y'all know Grammy Karen. I know Zach and Jen are going. That's this weekend, isn't it?
This weekend or next weekend?
I think it's this coming. Is it this coming weekend?
We enjoyed going. For us, it is a very long trip. I mean, it is a very long trip. It's about 18 hours or so, 16, 18 hours. And again, it's just so hard with our farm. It's crazy as it is.
Yeah, it's this weekend. That's what I thought.
Great question, Miss Debbie. When should I pick a loofah? Because that is very important.
Right. So when you plant them, they're going to grow up and fine. You don't want them on the ground. Okay. We actually accidentally planted some with our watermelons, and they're like all over the ground. And the thing is I've never picked one off the ground that has been good. Will you grab one from right there? Yeah. I've never picked one that's good from off the ground. Look at that
spider you've got on there.
Is there a spider? Whoops. I went out and got peppers today. I got some echinacea. I got some loofahs. I got some okra. And apparently I brought in a spider. Oh, I got elderberry too. I had some elderberry. So anyway, you don't want them to just plant them on, let them run wild on the ground. Sure, they're going to grow and they're going to get long and they're going to turn green and they're going to turn brown. But all of the ones that I have picked from off the ground, all of this is already rotted. So I have an arch, just a straight up, like a pig panel that we used 2 fence posts, like T-posts on each side, and just put that arch in the middle and planted the loofahs on the sides of that, and they have beautifully grown up, and then all my loofahs hang down. So you want to get this, you want the loofah to turn solid brown and be crunchy to touch. So if it's still, now I will say this too, I have picked them and opened them up and they were still just a little munchy. Munchy. They were
They need
still a
munchy?
little mushy. So I put them in our dehydrator. But when you pick them, when they're ready,
Thank
is
you,
when they're
Granny Carrie.
solid brown, and we're the vine that they're hanging off of. I got loofah seeds falling out of this one still.
Yeah, there's a few in there.
Even the vine is brown and dead, and when you squeeze it, you want to hear it crunch. And then you know they're ready. So then I usually just take mine and put them over a bowl because, like loofah seeds there's like a million loofah seeds in these.
So many.
I put them over a bowl or in a spot. You don't care if they start growing, and then you can open them up and you can take that outer shell off. And I will basically leave. I have not washed this one yet. There's still some seeds I'm going to squeeze out, and then I'll just wash it underwater and squeeze it out real good. And I have a big container in my bathroom above the garden bathtub, and I have like a whole shelf up there that is just my loofah sponges.
We have a ton, actually. It's really surprising.
Karen, if you would like some seeds, send us an email. I do have some that I can send you if you want to. Now, don't plant them yet because they are not hardy to frost.
No, not at all.
So the first frost that comes, that are all dead. I would recommend you plant them in March if you have a greenhouse. If you don't, probably maybe mid-March, unless you're like really South Texas. I did not see if she said where she was in Texas. So,
San Antonio. She's zone 8, I think. Zone 8.
Yeah.
Amy, praying for your husband as he goes through radiation treatments. He was updated there. Miss Mariah, how are you doing? I do not like spiders for his life. I hate spiders.
You should sell these too. If I can just to keep, see, loofah seed just fell out. There's like a million of them in there. So yeah, I really like those, and I feel like this year gave me a good stock of them. This was my first year to. We grew them last year. That's the seed off those shells. I grew them last year, but I didn't plant them early enough. So that's why I told you the 1st of March. If you can get them in the ground 1st of March. If not, the mid-March, but you want to get them in the ground pretty quickly because they take a long time to grow and a long time to produce the fruit and then a long time to dry out. So if you don't get them in the ground early enough, that was my problem last year. I think we planted like in June or so. Well, I had a good huge loofahs all over there, but before the frost before the frost had already came and it killed them all, and they were not ready to harvest yet. So they just turned like a big blob.
I'm not saying you can't harvest them when they're green if you're worried about the frost. It's probably like a tomato. You would need to dehydrate them or put them in the oven.
I tried that.
They just didn't do well for us.
It didn't turn out good for me. Now,
but you can try to dry them.
I would definitely say always try it.
Definitely. I mean, what are you going to lose?
But mine did not turn out. It was still it was nasty. When I opened it up, it was nasty. Now, granted, that was my first year to do anything with loofahs.
But again, in a perfect world, if they dried on vine, it's kind of like if your tomato became completely red and shiny on vine too. So there's probably a way that you could do a little bit better. For us, we didn't know because the moisture content in the loofah was too much. Just be careful; it could mold easily. So if it's green, you pull it off. I would probably put it in a dehydrator or in a dry oven.
Yeah, because all of this is like
soaking wet.
It is.
It reminds you of a squash, kind of like a squash if you cut it up without it being
like
dry.
this. Yeah. So it's very wet and it's very striated and it's very. It didn't work for me in the dehydrator, but I might not have known what I was doing.
Karen,
but when I opened it up, it was not good.
Is it invasive? Yes, it is invasive. I mean, it really is. It will run. It will vine. It is taking over a big chunk of our garden. It's fun because they're beautiful. The bees love them. They put off these beautiful yellow flowers. They really are pretty. So if you're worried about invasive, I mean, don't get me wrong. It can literally take over, but it is pretty if you have a place for them. Yeah. But if you put them on the vines and you cut around them or you bark around them,
I would
may
definitely say they need to vine on something because I feel like if you just let them run on ground, you're not going to have much luck because for whatever, and maybe it's just because we're super moist here and wet and we live in a low area. But all of mine that
Hey, Paula.
I have gotten up off the ground have all been molded. So when I like bring them in, they're brown and I go to shuck them. All of this is like covered in mold. So mine just might be an area thing. I suppose you could try it if you wanted to. It just does not work in our area.
Jesse, being in zone 4, you would definitely want to start them probably inside, and then because I know you have a shorter growing season in Idaho, so you would want to start them inside at a very young age, and just be ready to plant as soon as you run
They
outside.
do take a long time to vine, a long time.
They're just slow grower to me.
For that fruit to, so I'm still harvesting. I guess they kind of remind me of like okra. Like okra takes forever to get big enough to finally to put off. Yes, and they just put off. Once they get there, though, they just they're just going to keep putting off and keep putting off, and it's amazing. Like I've been harvesting for months, but again, they've been out there since probably March. I think is when I put them in the ground.
Stacy, we have not dug our sweet potatoes. Our sweet potatoes were a little lacking, but now they're starting to really put off their flowers. So we'll be watching them.
We were just a little late on ours, getting ours in the ground. So I'm probably thinking probably in about 4 weeks we should be able to dig them up.
When will you be using the smokehouse again, Big Dave? We're actually going in about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to do some hams. I'm going to do some smoking and curing of hams. The ham process for us to cure is probably about a week, week and a half. So I would say if we're going to try to do those next week. So probably 10 to 15 days. So probably 3 weeks or 4 weeks on a video coming out. We will light it up. It's hard for us to just justify one. So we have 3 hams that we're going to do. And actually, one of the people that was watching, Brady and Jessica, they had some bacon and hams also. They're probably going to use the smokehouse too. So
and super excited news about that. We are going to butcher our next one on farm. It will be on farm, and they are some local friends of ours that are coming to help us.
And that was the next thing.
That will be months away, but we are so excited about that.
So after that, Big Dave, just like Misty was talking about, we're going to we have our next pig will be ready to harvest probably in December to January, and we will be doing that whole processing. Y'all seen us process a hog on farm before, but we're going to take it and kind of tell you what we do with all the parts, and we're going to skin this one out versus we'll probably be demonetized for that video, but we're going to skin it out versus doing the scalding. So we'll do that on farm here. So be looking for that over the next few weeks and months to come ahead. But we love our smokehouse. I don't know how we would do without it.
Yep, we had some bacon this morning, and I was thinking, you just cannot get any better than this.
Yeah, our bacon is. I'm sorry, we're biased. Our bacon is better than any bacon you'll ever eat. Our bacon would make you very,
especially the
jealous.
store-bought bacon.
Yes, they will produce, Karen. They'll produce very heavy the first year, especially if they're in a good climate and good ground. They will produce really well. We grow in compost only, so they did fine. All the things acres. Hey, how are y'all? Hello from Arkansas. Can't wait to see you at the the Oklahoma event in March. Robbie, come see us. We would love to see you. We are hoping to meet everybody we can that day. They have a big.
Ladies calling on under the table, attacking
They have a huge amount of people already coming. I talked to Dutch just a few days ago, and also some of the other families that are helping them. And man, they have a good crowd already coming. So we're looking forward to it for sure.
Hey, Amy, please keep us posted. Even if you want to email us, or even if you want to send us direct messages on Facebook. I do have a Facebook page. I have the Max Happy Homestead page, and we have a Homestead Hangout page, and I have a personal page. If you want to keep us updated on that, I do have several people that send us prayer requests, some some cancer treatments, some friends, some family members that have been battling things from COVID stuff to cancer stuff to blood clots and sugar issues. Just we have been praying over several different people, so please keep us posted, because when y'all let us know what's going on, we can more specifically pray for those needs.
Good evening, Jennifer. Thank you for coming on. The Kiwi Backyard Gardener. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Max for sure.
And Stacy, if yours are just now flowering, that sounds like mine.
Your sweet potatoes?
Yeah,
that what
she
she's
might
talking
be
about?
talking about sweet
Yeah,
potatoes.
she's talking about sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
If they're
I
flowering,
was
they'll throw
going
off that
back to
purple bloom.
Loofah's. I
They'll
was
throw
going
off
back
that purple bloom. Remember, you want to dig them up once you start seeing the vines die. Remember, with sweet potatoes now, you can harvest um, the green leaves, and a lot of people use those. A lot of medicinal benefits to that.
Our
They
new
remind.
little things love. I didn't say them. I didn't break the news. Our new little things though love those leaves. I will
So
say that.
those leaves are very good. A lot of Asian cuisine has sweet potato leaves in them, so it's a very good thing to try to eat some of those too. Find ways to cook them because again, you want to utilize it all you can. Let's see. Big Dave, hey, you're welcome to come watch, man. When we do it, we'll let you know. Just keep up with us through via email, and that would be the best way. Padilla Palace Project says you were making my hubby drool with the bacon. I ain't gonna lie, our
It's
bacon would
really
make you
good.
drool. It is phenomenal.
It's really good.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's an added benefit too because the first few that we took
Thank
to
you, Mr.
butcher,
Tom. Have a
they
good
did
night.
everything for us, and it just wasn't good. It didn't cook right. It just wasn't good. And this time, Colby did. He learned all the cuts on his own. He done all of them, even though it was in my foyer and some in my breakfast table.
You hadn't seen that pig video. It's a good video.
But I will say this: it's not treated with anything, and it is the best bacon that we've ever had, hands down. And
Home
it, like I
cured.
said, it's a
So
added benefit, right? It's not covered in those nitrates and all
No
that.
nitrates.
It's cured, but not cured in the way,
It's cured the old-fashioned.
the old-fashioned way. I guess that's the way you can say it.
Mary Beth, how do you like to prepare your sweet potatoes? With butter. No, I'm
Oh no,
bacon.
cooking
We
them
like
in
to
the
bake 'em.
oven.
Yeah.
Cooking them in the oven is our favorite way. Pull them right out. Now we do make our own butter, and I made 3 batches of butter
My
today.
cream is crazy right now.
Yeah, because Trixie's off of Allie, so she puts off a catoodle. Have y'all heard that word before?
Catoodle.
Catoodle of butter, and I've made so
Hey,
much
Deborah.
butter. And yeah, we love to slather that in some potatoes, but it has to be real butter.
It has to be real butter. It has to be
real
our butter, and we put salt and pepper in ours. We don't actually put cinnamon and sugar in ours just because
It's
they're
already
sweet
sweet
enough.
enough.
And we try to get away from sugar as much as we can, especially processed sugar. If you see us use sugar, it's going to be an organic or healthy sugar, or either honey or natural honey. So I buy pork belly from the local slaughterhouse. Absolutely, you can make as much good bacon as you can because the
Sweet
bacon that
potatoes,
you
honey,
eat,
and butter.
the bacon that you even get from the butcher house is they all throw it together. It's not as good as what you can actually do with your own pork belly making bacon for sure. Let's see.
Nothing better than real butter. It's really not.
I'm serious. It's really not. That's like real lard. When you actually have real lard, you will never want Crisco
I do
or
have to
anything
say,
else again.
Colby's last biscuits that he made was way better than mine. That last batch was really good.
That's right.
Monk fruit. Yes. So I have just been enlightened to monk fruit, and I like it. However, I don't like that price.
Yeah, monk. I told Misty today, I
Pretty
was
high.
like, we're not going to eat monk fruit too much.
It is really good though.
We have 25 gallons worth of honey sitting in
Yeah.
our
So
living room
monk
too.
fruit is a natural sweetener, but it's not sugar. So it's like honey in a
Thanks,
sense,
Miss
and it
Deborah.
actually is fruit from the readings that I've done. It's a fruit that has been basically dehydrated
Good luck,
down,
Padilla.
and you can either get it in granules or you can get it in powder form. I don't know what is done in the process of that, so that's why honey is always our go-to. Honey, you just cannot get any better when you can literally go out into your yard and get your sweetener, and nothing has been done to it whatsoever. That's just, you cannot beat that. So when I made homemade pizza dough crust tonight, and I just used an artisan type of flour. It's unbleached, organic, and then I used a little bit of oil, pink Himalayan salt, yeast, and honey, and that was it. So I don't use like the stevia or what is the other one? The monk fruit, unless I absolutely have to. So honey is I always first go to. But then I made a natural type of chocolate
Thank
cake
you,
the other
Sunshine
night,
Lily.
and I powdered it with the monk fruit, and it was really good. Like it was really good. You don't get a lot of natural sweeteners like that, in my opinion, that are actually really good, and monk fruit is.
Padilla Projects, good luck. Hey, when you raise your own meat, it's just something about it. When you enjoy eating it, it makes it even better. I've rented a bunch of lard in my life. I have two. You should see. We're going to show you off our American guinea hogs that we just harvested. Misty will be rendered in lard and then canning that lard very soon. But we have got probably, I would say, 30 to 40 pounds worth of lard.
I need to get that rendered down and
So
canned.
it
I
is
really need to do that.
unbelievable when you see how much lard come off our lard hogs. That's why we grow two sets of hogs. I'm allergic to honey, Ruby. Oh man, I am so sorry because we have gotten where we love honey. Make sure you're getting a honey that is natural to your area. Make sure you're not buying store-bought honey because there is a difference. So try. Again, you may have already tried this, but try buying it from a local
honey
source.
store-bought is your only option, and you're okay with it, then do that. But if you can get honey that's literally taken out of the hive, strained through a stainless steel mesh filter, and that's what you want. That's what you want. You don't want it heated. You don't want anything added to it, done to it whatsoever. So it might not be the actual honey that you're allergic to, but sometimes what they do to the honey. So in milk is a lot of this, like I said all that to say this because a lot of people were like, oh, well, I'm lactose intolerant. I can't drink milk. It's not really the milk that is causing your body to respond the way it is. It's what they do to the milk and the stuff that they add to the milk that is causing your body to do that. And a lot of people just don't understand that fact.
Same way with wheat, with gluten, and it's all that. It's our processing and the way we GMO everything up in this world. So
if all you can get is store-bought honey, then I would still recommend using that over your processed white sugar. But if you have somebody in your community that you know, pay a few extra dollars and get the honey from the beekeepers, the farmers that deal with the honey because they're not doing anything to your honey. And that's what I would recommend doing. Same thing with milk. If you can find a farmer that's local that you can barter with, that's what you want to do.
Kiwi Backyard Gardener. I wish it was cool here. She said it's cool there.
It's getting that way, but
I think Nancy. I'm guessing she's in New Zealand. Let us know where you're at, Kiwi Backyard Gardener. I want to know what that stands for. Let's see. Amy says my daughter found some property that's 45 plus acres for $115,000 with 30 acres of a grazing land and 2 wells, pond and stream, and a good price for it in Florida. Oh my gosh!
Wow,
I may move down to Florida.
I know. Don't tell us about that deal. We'll want that.
That's a good one.
That's amazing.
That's a good deal. Sounds like almost too good to be true. Karen says, "Man, I wish I lived by you guys and we were neighbors. You are so my kind of people." Thank you, Karen. That means the world to us for sure. One day he said we're going to start a commune anyway, so we may just move every one of you down here. So let's see, A2 milk, absolutely. If you can get A2 milk, that's why a lot of people like goat milk and this is crazy. Breast milk is A2. So for instance, when you talk about cows being A2, if you're getting a raw dairy milk cow, most of the time, especially Jerseys, you can realize you're going to be able to process that milk a lot easier. I hate store honey. Can't get real honey that I love. Miss Deborah, the reason you hate store honey, if you know how honey is processed for store-bought honey, they put all the honey together. They do fill it with fructose. It's actually got a basic corn syrup in it. They don't tell you that because they can they can call that as a byproduct. So you are getting unnatural sugars in your honey when you buy it from the store. So look at your local co-ops. There may be a local beekeeper.
And that's part of the thing that is, when all of these big, huge farmers are subsidized and then they send their products to
New Zealand.
companies
That's
that
awesome.
take them and they always do something to them in the name of law or legal make it legal
Totally
to
agree,
sell
rehab
or
life.
whatever. It's just not as good as going to your local farmer because you're just not going to get all that extra in it that doesn't need to be.
Jennifer, raw honey, it is unprocessed honey. The only thing we do is we put it through one strainer basket. It's a double strainer basket. What it does is it catches all
The wax.
the wax.
That's
'Cause we'll
basically
process the
when you
wax.
say strain it.
Yeah.
When you say strain it, so when you go get the frames, they're like little square things out of the hive, and the honey is put into these little circle. They're not circles.
All right, so I'm
they're
gonna show
actually
you. I'm gonna show you
hexagons.
unfiltered raw honey that has every kind of benefit that you can imagine. Okay.
So a lot of people don't understand the process. So you get it out. Well, each one of those cells is capped off with a piece of wax. So what we do is we open each one of those with it's almost kind of like a cone.
Drill.
So he'll show
This
you.
is honeycomb.
And you see the wax, how it's filled. We take combs and open that. And then we put it in a big silver container.
So
We
open
drop it
comb
down in there.
looks like that. See how it's open right there? That's open comb. That's closed comb. That's how you want to see your honey. And this is foundationless honeycomb. So we cut this off because we have a lot of clients or a lot of friends and family who
That
like
likes
to eat it.
that.
Because this is a natural chewing gum. So you cut pieces off, you chew it up, and it becomes a gum for you. But it's
So
phenomenal.
when you open those wax cells, then the honey can come out of them. So we have a big, huge stainless steel.
Get into bees.
Stainless steel. We put those pieces down in there and we spin it really fast so the honey slings. So if you ever hear somebody make a comment, "I'm slinging honey," that's what they mean. They just mean that they're getting the honey out of that. Then, so it has those little. Some of that wax will get down in that honey, and you want to get that out. So we have a stainless steel. It looks like a bowl that has really tight stainless steel woven together, and only the honey can
That's
go
still
through.
good, Lotus Blossom.
So the honey will go through, and the wax will stay out. And I have another container right beside that I will process that down, cook it all down, melt the wax, and strain the wax, and have beeswax.
So this, you're getting the most raw, pure honey because you're going to end up getting pollen. You're going to end up getting even down to some propolis. You're going to get all the good stuff out of the honey
And if you're
benefits
not familiar with propolis,
it's a byproduct. It's a spit product from the bee. I know that sounds crazy.
But it's very, very, very
very
good
medicinal.
for you.
So you're getting every benefit when you buy and when you eat it off the cone because you're not straining anything out. You're chewing the wax. You're getting all the benefits from it. Plain speaker, we were supposed to come to the Gulf Coast homesteading event. Hank from Hamiltonville Farm is a dear friend of ours. Talk to him weekly. But it again with our cows, I just don't know if it's feasible. I wish it was because we've developed a great friendship with him for sure.
For us to just get away and say, "Hey, we're just going to take off," or even if it's for the weekend,
so hard.
It's really, really hard for us to do that. As much as we would love to and love to get away, it's a lot of stress, and it's really hard for us to do because we have a big farm and it has to be taken care of, and so for us to just leave
Hey,
is
Freedom
a big
Foods.
deal. All right, I didn't read.
Karen says, I believe that a lot of mental and anger issues come from all the hormones, pesticides, and preservatives that they put in our food. Yes, because you are becoming a GMO.
And cancer.
You are becoming a genetically modified organism. That is what our human bodies have become the more we put this crap in our bodies. So I can just tell you, look, if you're not growing your own food, that's fine. We understand that. Life is life. But buy from local farms, buy from places like Azure.
Organic.
Make sure you're buying not just it says labeled organic in Walmart. Now that might be better than anything else you buy in Walmart, but try to buy local. Try to buy the raw foods that you can because it is beneficial.
Or even like if you have a local farmers market, ask around and see even within your local farmers markets and just ask, do you spray your products? Do you treat the soil with fertilizers? Ask those type things because that's the number one things we want to stay away from. We don't really want to buy our food that if they put Roundup all over the ground and then turn around and dumped a ton of chemicals on it in the name of fertilizing. I'm like, no, no, thank you. I would rather not have that.
We don't really even fit in with our local farmers market. It's because a lot of our local farmers market is based on a college extension. So a lot of times they'll treat it with every kind of herbicide and pesticide
and we really,
fertilizer
really
that they
try to
can.
do, when we say natural, we really try to do everything as natural as possible. So, that's just our.
Kiwi Backyard Gardener, I like the Kuni Kuni. We actually grow American Guinea Hog as a lard hog, and then we also grow commercial Berkshire Yorkshire cross for our bacon and our ham. So we do a little bit of both on those. It's one of those situations for us. There's best of both worlds. Like the lard hogs that we just processed, we're not gonna get the pork chops we wanted, but we've got lard for days. So it allows us to be able to can that. And then again, in December, we will be able to process one of our commercial hogs.
Yes, we love Hank and Gina too. Grammy Karen, I just saw
Phenomenal
your comment.
people.
Yes, they are. We actually met them at
Stivers first, and we developed that friendship
at the
as
fall
time went on.
celebration with the Stivers with Jen and Zach. We actually met them there.
Awesome playing speaker. Keep it up. Good job. Let's see. Lena, how are you doing? Good to see you. Can I buy seeds from Hoss for next year now? You can,
better.
Big Dave.
I would.
I think right now you need to be buying seeds all the time. We buy seeds 12 months out of the year because there's going to be times you're not going to need them.
I would still put them up.
And here's another thing. I know people say, well, they're not fresh. If you keep them in a cold, dark place, no moisture, make sure it's dry. We keep ours in a cabinet, in a container. I know you've seen that container that Misty bought. Our goal, as long as we keep them in a cool, dry place, we've never had an issue. We're actually growing okra seeds. I mean, you think about it. If you're harvesting, we're harvest okra and peas. We're drying those seeds for next year. So there's nothing wrong with buying fresh seeds from this year because then it's going to help you for next year. Let's see, and I like Hoss Tools. They've done a lot of their lettuce has done good for us, and some of their peas have done really well for us. Their cucumbers did really good for us last year. This year we didn't have a good harvest.
Yeah, last year I didn't. Our cucumbers didn't do great, and our okra and zucchini didn't do great. Our tomatoes really didn't either, but everything else really did.
Christy, great question. Do you make anything from beeswax? We mentioned that a little bit in the last video. I think it's the last video. Was it the last video? Or it might be the video coming up. So we process and make. Let's talk about your goodies you make dealing with wax.
Skin salve is my big thing. Diaper rash cream. Colby calls it baby booty cream.
Our girls call it.
But it's diaper rash ointment. Sunscreen is huge because it's so water resistant. So I'm very liberal with it in that. And then chapstick. I have a whole chapstick
you can make
making
deodorant
kit
out of it too.
Yeah, and you can add it to your deodorant. I do have a whole chapstick making kit, and the base of it is coconut oil, but then it's also a lot of beeswax. And I usually will add peppermint to that. Sometimes I'll add lavender. So yeah, and actually making the beeswax is really, really easy to do. However, clean up is horrible. It's a nightmare because the wax gets all over like all of my stuff, and it just takes me boiling water to clean it up and then go dump it, then have to boil water again, put it in there, try to clean it out again, then go dump. It's like definitely a big project.
If you're buying beeswax for $6 to $10 a pound, you're buying. That's a good deal. We had a guy one time buy it from us, and what he was doing was making certain things, and he'd put his signet in the wax. So it's really cool. It cleans up really well. Misty's got a lot she's processed over time. If we're not going to take the wax, we give it back to the bees. The bees will take what they want out of it, and of course, the rest will just clean off.
I actually have a video on.
Plain speaker, we're not famous at all. If a troll comes on, we even like their troll. They can comment, give us pluses, minuses. We'll take them.
So I'll turn this. This is what I was showing you all a while ago.
That is wax taken off.
This is the cappings that were when we scrape them to release the honey out of the frames. The pieces of wax that fall, we keep. So I told y'all in our last video we have or either it is the one coming up. We have a zero waste policy, so I don't want to waste this. So I've collected it and I will turn it into this, which is beeswax. And the process, like I said, is really, really simple. Here's one piece. And but these are my pretty ones. I found at Hobby Lobby, I
like that one. I like the picture on here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find. That's what I was trying to find. I don't know if they'll be able to see it.
See that?
Yeah, isn't it cute?
That's
so I found that mold at Hobby Lobby, and I think it was like $10. But I found it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Karen, where did we learn our self-reliance skills? For us, I mean, I say we're self-taught, but ultimately what our goal is to always gain wisdom. We're always seeking wisdom in anything we do. And anytime we pick up a new animal, anytime we get a new shrub or new vegetable to grow or fruit,
and we do have something new, so
is to always learn wisdom. Like these
I
horses, for instance.
That if he brings anything else home, I'm kicking him out of this house. Because I can hardly keep the kids fed, much less anything else.
So, for instance, like the horses, we don't know horses well. So, when we picked up the horses, our goal is to learn every bit of wisdom we can on the horses, and also this new creature that Misty is talking about. Miss Yvonne, welcome. Thank you so much.
I told him to stop bringing stuff home, and I look out and I'm like, "What? Why'd you do that?"
When I think about feeding our family, let's talk about this. Hold on.
We have some kids getting rowdy.
When I think about feeding 8 people in our family, and then think about our family in general, I feel like we never have enough food and never enough vegetables, never enough meat. So our goal is to always process. And so we're always trying to learn something new about whatever it is to make a better harvest. For instance, I saw Amy say, would you think about getting a larger hole such as old spots? Well, our Yorkshire, Berkshire, they get 400 or 500 pounds if we let them. So we like the old spots a lot.
They have grown a lot. Yeah. They look really good.
But that's why we grow 2 sets of hogs, because we know one gives us this, one gives us this. That's why we grow our lambs, because it gives a quick red meat, just like when deer season's in, good red meat. But then we have our cows too. So our goal is to always have redundancy in anything that we do. Hey, Miss Debbie, thank you for that. You guys are amazing. I don't know if we're amazing, but we do hope we inspire whoever does watch us. So.
A pet snake. If it was a pet snake, it would not have made it past day 1.
If you'd have saw that spider, you'd have thought it was a pet spider over there. I smoked it though.
I don't do snakes.
And we live in a low area, so we see a lot of snakes. All right, guys,
it's already 9 o'clock.
Almost 9 o'clock. So we are going.
I can't believe it's already 9.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right. Thank y'all so very much for coming on and watching us. We went all over the place. Loofahs to honey and everything. We always do that. So thank you so very much for coming on tonight. Thank you for the new people that came on. We hope that you will sub, like, and share the max. Our goal is to grow, because we have a great giveaway coming up when we get to 10,000. And thank you for all the people who are always been with us. Michigan Mike, Miss Sue, thank you for the super chats. It does mean the world to us. And we'll sign off. God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.